Very well, we've had several meetings between ourselves, the leaders from Mount Kenya. Some of these leaders in Mount Kenya Foundation, we have invited them to those meetings, because what is important is not what we perceive people to want. It is what you discuss with the people, and the people agree that, yes, take us that route. So we are yet to see the real people of the mountain, what it is they want to say. But be that as it may, I personally have no problem with the candidature of Raila Odinga. Mm. Yes. As it said today, I wanted to be a president, but I'm told no, ngoja. The horses are two. But you know, 9 months, Jeff, to an election is a very long time. Yeah. A baby will be made today and born before we do elections. And you know, if 2002 is anything to go by, we did not know what was going to happen in July 2002. But in October, things just suddenly changed when Tinga said, Kibaki Tosha. That was it. That was the end of the Uhuru candidate. Yeah. So between now and then, many things can happen. You may see Baba saying, Kabako Tosha. And if he does, you know, game shot. Or you see Kabako saying, Baba Tosha. Yeah. You know, it's game shot. Yeah.
Mheshimiwa, what do you think? A lot can happen in 9 months. In 48 hours, expecting a big announcement.
Yeah. First, let me go back to what happened today with the Mount Kenya Foundation. I think that was a good thing because, you know, those are people also who are Kenyans. They're entitled to their rights, and they also lead certain segment of the society. You know, communities or people respect three types of people. They respect their leaders, like Kabogo. They respect their business people, and they respect their warriors, people, the young people. So those are not people you can write off. Those are people who carry a huge mandate in the society. They are opinion shapers. They can shape the opinion of a section of the community to a certain direction. So I think, and they have proven with time, they have endorsed people in previous elections and things went their way. So for us who support Prime Minister Raila Odinga, Baba, it was a good event. It was a wonderful congregation. Good speeches were made there today, and people came together, ate together, you know, stayed together the whole day and exchanged views and talked to each other. And, you know, that was a good step in the right direction. But for sure, those are not people you can take them lightly. You can call them, you know, whatever name they are, but the way I see, they are serious opinion shapers in the country.
What do you think they're expecting return? You scratch my back, I scratch yours?
You know, politics is about interest. So everybody must drive his or her interest. So for now, they have not told us that this is what we want, but they spoke about the interest of the regions they come from. What they expect to be done for their people in terms of improvement of their lives of the people who come from the Mount Kenya region, the economy of the Mount Kenya region. Those are the issues they talk about. I never heard them speaking about personal interest at all. So I think it was a good meeting. Those are people who I think anybody who is interested in politics cannot take them lightly. Yeah.
Governor, what do you think the Mount Kenya Foundation is expecting in return? Say, maybe a running mate?
Well, it would be wrong for me to say what they expect. But of course, they're not doing this for nothing. If you look at them with a closer eye, you will see that they are businessmen. Businessmen from that region. And so they probably expect policies that will be free, fair, and reasonable for businessmen. But be that again as it may, that is from that section. And Baba is happy to bag, even if it were 20 or 30 of them, he should be happy. But on the other hand, we are also talking as leaders. So they should not shy from coming to talk to us. Probably the same way they talk to Mount Kenya Foundation. And we may be convinced that that is the road to go. But we have to sit and have a candid discussion on our interest as, one, people of the region, two, as Kenyans, because besides being people of the mountain, and when I say people of the mountain, we confuse people. We think people of the mountain are Kikuyus. No. Ruiru is a cosmopolitan, Kiambu is a cosmopolitan county. You see it in Nyeri, you see it in Laikipia, you see it in Nyandarua. So we are talking about the interests of the people that live in that region. One, if anyone can come to us and convince us that, money will follow people, that is the distribution of revenues from the national exchequer. Right now, the formula is 45% population, and the rest is based on other parameters. If, for example, the team that Baba leads comes and says, we should now start now, in a manner that can bring resources to our people. We have the largest number of unemployment, Jeff. Largest number of illicit brews, and because of frustrations, the largest number of very highly educated people that are not employed. So if we can get those concerns addressed by a relationship, I will tell you that the next government is going to be a government formed through a coalition of some kind. So if you are not willing to discuss and talk coalitions, then it means you are not willing to build Kenya as a unified nation. So we want peace, and it looks like kuna dalili of trouble, because there are people who are really sensitive when you don't think the way they do, or they want you to think in a particular way. So we are open to discussions. But we have people who believe, Jeff, that for you to form a coalition, you have to give seats. These are individual things. We are talking about communal interests, not how many ministerial positions you will dish to us, because those ministerial positions help those people and their families, not necessarily the region. We have had ministers. We had Kunjuri just the other day. Just to mention, I have nothing against him. We have Masharu now, we have Masharia, but what is it that we have gotten out of them? This is what I am talking about. And that is why I am the leader of that initiative of bringing Mount Kenya leaders together, so that we can reason together, talk to our people, and talk with those others that we are thinking alike. Are
you listening to them? Are you talking to them?
No, he's saying the right things. I am happy that we are speaking the same language like he does. I believe in coalitions. I know we have to put interest of communities in any discussion, not individuals. Even though it's good to have ministers coming from your place, there are favors that come with that. I'm sure those ministers who have come from that region must have done one or two things for that region that they come from. So I think that's why everyone wants to be in government. That's why people want to have positions in government. But one thing I agree with Honorable Kabogo is that anybody who's opposed to coalition building, anybody who's opposed to people coming together, is not somebody who means well for the country. Because there are, leaders in this country who are saying that all Kenyans must come into one party. They don't want this to Jibebe or Kenya party of Honorable Kabogo or any small party that is trying to build, and participate the democratic process of this country. They want everyone to join like the way Kanu used to be, Baba and Mama. But by and large, what I know is that we are going to talk, as he said. We will discuss those issues. We will agree. I know he's my friend. We are in agreement almost 50% now. We just need to cross the 1% that is still disturbing him. We will convince him and see and put the issues and the real agendas on the table, which are beneficial to the community, as he said, not individual. And from there, I'm sure Kabogo will go with Baba going to the next election.
Governor, Deputy President William Ruto has been spending a lot of time in central Kenya.
Yes.
A lot of time. And the ground seems to be shaking. You know it better than most of us probably do. They say the ground is really shifting towards him. Do you agree, disagree?
He spends a lot of time there, and it's not now. He started spending time even in 2013, 2017. You would find him there every other weekend, somewhere in a church. So he probably has planned this over time. But again, Jeff, 1 year in politics is a very long time. You know that when we were doing our elections in 2017, government agents were doing polling. We were doing polling. I was 90%. Did I go through? Whichever means that was used, I didn't go through. So I would not be, rejoicing and celebrating that you have a lead in Mount Kenya. Watu ni wale.
Especially when you were campaigning alone for the last 8 years.
Yeah. We are the same guys. you need to remind yourself that we are the same guys. You want to get votes, you must know how to find votes. But it seems in this country we have developed a manner of just wanting to tell people things, excite them. At the end of the day, nothing comes out of that excitement. And that's why I have been saying, and I say this including my friend Junet's party leader, that we need scorecards for these leaders. All these people who want to be presidents, including my friend Raila Odinga, they have been in government one way or the other, ministers up to the level of vice president or deputy president. Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka, 30 years MP, 5 years vice president. Musalia Mudavadi, the same, prime minister, deputy vice president. William Ruto, minister, up to deputy president, prime minister. What are their scorecards? You know we can sort this mess quickly, Jeff. Very quickly. Scorecard. Who did what in what ministry that demonstrates he has the capacity to run this country as a CEO and take Kenya to the next level. Even Jubilee itself, my old party, my grand old party, that was my party some time back. There are things they promise Kenyans. We know them. When the mtandao to just Google, you'll see them. When will their scorecard be filled? Right now, there's a situation that is telling people Jubilee is now split between this one and this one. Those people are one. They got their ticket together, they were elected. Who is the president of the Republic today? Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Who is the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya? William Samoei Ruto. But you know, politics, people want to play jargon language, nini. Again, you want to tell Kenyans, wait for this in August. It will come. Bro, I'll tell you this. I'll come here in November. You will tell me which Mama Mboga is in government. You will tell me how much money has been taken to those who own kiosks.
By who? By the people?
You understand?
Yeah.
Because where is this money coming from?
Yeah.
And we are not addressing the main cancer in our society is corruption. Grand corruption. Up to a point where the president of the republic says he thinks we lose 2 billion a day. And this party, if it was to take government, that thing would be a thing of the past. I've said this here before.
Yeah. If they made you the drugs...
I've actually offered myself to fight corruption pro bono.
You?
Yes.
And you still would?
Yes, but those who are running very high speed, they do not want to mention that word. Why? Why? We should remind ourselves what the ambassador of America, the High Commissioner of Britain said at one time, that they are gluttony. They are vomiting on our shoes.
On our shoes.
Because of gluttony. It is the same scenario here, maybe worse. We are told, no, so-and-so leaves NHIF and drives to Wilson and takes a dagger home, a helicopter. A messenger. We are told Kabura entered a bank and took 200 million shillings cash and gave somebody 50. You know these things.
Yeah.
Catwalks. You steal, you go and become so-and-so. We celebrate thieves. And that is why it is different in Germany and UK and here. Why do we fight during elections? In my opinion, we fight because I fight with you, we cause chaos because you're stopping us from going in to eat. But there they fight to go and lead. Tony Blair is removed, he walks and rides a bicycle home. When are we going to get there? So in these campaigns now, we should be asking these leaders to tell us, what is your position as far as corruption is concerned? And if you listen, you'll hear some of them are talking about corruption, but there are others who would not want to mention that word.
Which brings me to a point then. Is Baba going to run? Is he going to announce he's running?
Yeah, I think that we have got to wait for Friday. That's when he said he's going to speak to the country on that issue. So...
But you're in there, you're in the kitchen. What is he telling you?
Yeah, but I'm not the one running. He's the one to run. So it is only him.
But you're hearing, he's talking to you. You listen to him. What is he telling you?
No, for me, I want him to run as his supporter. And that's what many of his supporters have told him across the country. When we went and did the Azimio la Umoja tours across the country in 14 regions. But now it is him to speak to those people, whether he has agreed with their request to run or not. And that's why we have the Grand Azimio Convention on Friday. But I hope and wish that he runs, because I believe he's the right candidate for this coming election. He means well for the country, and he has enough experience to run the country that even Honorable Kabo will agree with me. But I will say let's wait for Friday and we see what he says and what he tells the people of Kenya.
Look, but Jeff, I always tell you, I'm not a witch, neither am I a prophet, but I see Raila will be running. You got it from me. Yes.
He is running.
He's running. Certainly.
And none of you see...
Unless something happens and he decides to make a king, because he's the greatest kingmaker in Africa. But as far as I'm concerned now, Baba is on the ticket. I also speak to him, so I know. Even Junet knows he will run. Baba will run. There's nothing, there's no two way about it.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
This is his last...
the real bullet.
Yes, this is the last one.
This is the last bullet.
No,
yes.
Not the last, the real bullet. There's a difference between the last bullet and the real bullet.
And you don't see a 2000...
This is the real one we will attack it.
That's why I said, a year in politics a long time. He's one of the most experienced politicians. He's an enigma. You ignore Tinga at your own peril. He's proved who he is from the very early age, when he was being detained by Moi. And he made peace with Moi, LDP and Kanu. That guy detained him for 10 years. If you detain me 10 years, I ain't going to sit with you, Jeff. No way. I will not have coffee with you.
Yeah.
Yes, I may be thinking about how to get rid of you at that moment in time. But this guy has patience, man. So really, he makes politics also interesting. Quite tolerant. And some of these qualities, you can only get them in a few people. So hopefully a coalition will be made that will take Kenya to the next level. We seem to want to go backwards.
Under the leadership of the Prime Minister.
It is a possibility, yes. It is a possibility.
Can he beat William Ruto?
I'll tell you this. If anyone says yes or no, it's just a guesswork. Politics is about numbers. But I just told you here, remember, it is not simple majority. It is 50 plus 1 with the condition of 25% minimum in 24 counties.
23 plus.
Do your maths. This is a game of numbers. Numbers shift. very quickly. I gave you my own scenario. They shifted 3 weeks to nominations, and things happened, and I saw it spin. Of course, it was not a tsunami. It didn't take me down. I'm just out and happy.
Yeah, but it took you aback.
But one-on-one, Raila, Ruto issue, who will beat who? My friend, it will be difficult to make that call now.
Yeah, but what the party he leads, the way Honorable Kabogo is talking,
yes,
the party he leads with Tujibebe
okay.
Kenya party has the same vision and aspiration and thinking of the Prime Minister. That's what he's saying.
Let me ask you
not
this.
Not putting words into his mouth, but that's the way I understand the way he's saying.
Yes, we have
he's very distinct.
There are areas that we can talk, and there are areas that
he has
we
no
have
commonality with UDA. He has commonality with ODM and such people.
But what if UDA approaches him? What if they approach him as a running mate? They could?
Well, they could.
Yeah.
But again, these are issues you talk. You don't just approach me because you think I have the capacity to drive some numbers. Where do we want to take Kenya?
Yeah.
That is my point. Where do I feel safe?
It's not about winning an election.
Where do I feel safe?
Yes.
And where do I feel our community and Kenyans
interests are taken care of.
Are taken care of properly. Yeah. Not just this manenos of telling people what you will do to them.
Yeah.
You need, when you say we are going to do this as government, you need to first stop and think, where will the resources come from? If you stop corruption, there is 700 billion available. Then you can start saying how you will spend this money. But you do not want to address corruption. And yet you want to go giving money, 50 billion here, 100 billion there. It's not going to happen. And if you haven't done it the last 20 years, what is this miracle that has happened recently?
Just come closer, the last 8 years,
yes.
For example.
ODM used to be the opposition once upon a time. Once upon a time. And you would call it, like Governor said, though there's a lot of promises that were not fulfilled by this Jubilee government.
Yeah.
You have been silent as a church mouse.
No, we have not been silent. We have not been silent. We have been playing our role as an opposition in Parliament and outside Parliament. It's only that we've stopped demonstrating. If that's what you want us to do,
no.
we can go back to the streets again and do demonstrations. If that's how you'll feel us doing the work of the opposition. But we speak to people who are in government and we tell them this is right, this is wrong. And they listen sometimes. They correct a few things here and there. We disagree on some bills in Parliament. But if the only way you can feel us is being on Uhuru Highway, then we can go back there if you want. If that will make you happy.
But also, Jeff, it's important, my friend Junaid, that I want to send him now to the Prime Minister. Kenyans are suffering. Excessive taxes. Businesses are collapsing because of taxes. There's one thing we did in 2009 that needs to be repealed, ASAP. Giving power to Kenya Revenue Authority to attach your account and take money from a businessman's account. These are things that Kenyans are suffering on.
Yeah, I agree.
Fuel prices are high. You understand? Cost of living is so high. And yet, Janga, like COVID, many things that have happened in the last 2 years, we have got too many people unemployed. Before we go for elections, move a motion somehow to relieve Kenyans. Also, there are things in BBI that do not require a referendum.
Right.
And Bunke can do it. And if the past is anything to go by, the distribution of revenue bill was passed with 2/3 plus 2 in Parliament.
Which one? Which bill?
The
BBI.
revenue sharing bill.
Oh, the one in the Senate.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was done with 2/3 plus 2.
Yeah.
So it is possible now to get some of the benefits of BBI. Number one.
Are you saying the BBI was a good thing? Are you saying
part of it was very good for us? In the very beginning, I didn't support it. But when the issue of resources will follow people, then I said Kisumu is going to benefit, Kiambu is going to benefit, Nairobi by the largest extent will benefit because hospitals require medicine. Medicine will depend on the number of people. Water will depend on the number of people. You understand what I'm saying? So if some of these benefits can be gotten now before we go for elections. You would not need to come to Kiambu to convince us that this is the right coalition, because a coalition that is giving us the benefits that we're looking for. Yes, instead of promising us in August.
And the BBI was promising all that?
Yes, it was.
And who opposed the BBI?
Very dark forces.
Well,
very dark forces, because very dark for us. Because anyone who denied Kiambu 11 billion extra, the entire mountain region was going to get 22 extra parliamentary seats.
And 58,
representation.
And 53 billion.
And 54, 55 billion extra in a year. We lost it.
And all that was denied.
Yes, we lost it.
And reggae has stopped?
Reggae has stopped because of the courts, but I'm sure now it's at the Supreme Court. We'll see what the court decides. Yeah, but the people who are lying to Mount Kenya people, telling them that we are with you, we want to improve the economy of Mama Mboga, we want to bottom up and such kind of things, are the same people who opposed the BBI that was to benefit the Mount Kenya people. Very unfortunate. And
yet, Raila is still a hard sell in some parts of central Kenya. It's still a hard sell.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. The last 3 months, I've gone around with him in Mount Kenya area. It's very soft sell.
Easy sell.
Easy sell. We can go and spend anywhere. You know, some of us, for the last 10 years or 15 years, we have never campaigned in areas like Subukia, Maili Saba, Maili Tisa, you know, Nyauru. Now we go there every day, and people listen to us. People listen to what we are saying, and people accept our views, and people, you know, clap for us that we are talking sense. The country has moved on. The country has changed. This is not the country that was in silos. This country now is open. Honorable Kabogo can go to any part of this country and campaign for
I'm in Taveta tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have a candidate. Our party has a candidate in Maho ward. And we are giving Jubilee and ODM a run for their money.
Tell me something. Is Raila still a hard sell in Central?
It's not. I mean, you know, those are tribal cards, Jeff, that people keep pulling. I told you ignore Raila at your own peril. He is Raila.
Basically, he's telling you most likely he's going to be the next president of Kenya after president.
He may not get 89, 90% as Uhuru did, but he will get a sizable number of votes.
From that,
depending on the policies that he will sell to our people. And that's why we are saying, sit with us. Talk to us. We know, we live here. We know what our people need. And if we can see it through you, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
There's no one who cannot form a coalition with anyone. A good example, Raila was with Ruto, 2007. True?
That's right.
Yes. So if there were to be a hard sell, they would both be a hard sell because of our experience of the past. But we have moved on. We have moved on.
All right.
That is very...
And it is important for people to be tolerant. These ideas of so-and-so must be shouted at. Because there are people who spend sleepless nights organizing people to shout others down. When will we grow up and allow people to come and sell their policies and go? Listen and go. Listen and go.
Yeah.
Yes. But the politics of money, and Jeff, I have participated in politics of money. They don't help. You will dish money now, and disappear. After 5 years, you will come again. So who's foolish? We are fooling our people.
We are fooling our people.
You understand?
Yes, who's fooling?
So let's sell good policies.
Yeah.
Let's improve the economy. And the economy is not roads only. It is the pockets of Kenyans.
Gentlemen, I want to take a break, come back. And when I come back, in ODM, there are other people who wanted to run for president. It's not just Baba, right? Kakamega Governor Oparanya, Mombasa Governor, Ali Hassan Joho, who you were sitting with today in that meeting.
Yeah.
Jimmy Wanjigi. People wanted to run for president. What happened? What happened to them? They have aspirations.
No, I only know of Hassan Joho and Oparanya. Don't increase the list, unofficially. It's not the citizen that's doing the list.
But there are people who dream. That's what we should have said. People who dream of being candidates.
Of being candidates, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think? Are we dreaming here?
But you need to know, Jeff.
Don't do a list here.
You need to know where you are and where you want to stand. You cannot go to Kremlin and say you want to oppose
Putin.
Putin will put you. He will put you in a lot of trouble.
Put you in.
Yes, we'll put you in.
Let's take a break. Come back, keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff and Citizen TV Kenya, the hashtag
I tell you.
Sunday Live. Oh no, it's JKLive. Listen to me. Is that Putin word, huh? Putin. JKLive takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.